What's up, everyone? Welcome to my continuing look at the Steven Spielberg filmography. Today we have another big one. It is Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Released May 23rd, 1984, it is starring Harrison Ford reprising the titular role of Indiana Jones, as well as Kate Capshaw, Amrish Puri, Roshan Seth, Philip Stone, and Ke Huan Kwan. Now, this is a follow up. It's a sequel movie, but it's technically actually a prequel, as George Lucas, who is a co writer on this film, didn't want, and I believe Spielberg also, they just didn't want to do Nazis again. So this actually takes place before the events of Raiders of the Lost Ark. So this may explain why we get like little weird things in here, like in the very weird montage musical numbers opening, which again just leads to the biggest problem of the movie. We'll get to that in a minute. But Indy loses a close friend who went on many adventures, and we don't know what the fuck this guy is. So his death and emotional goodbye in the beginning means very little to us as an audience, and I think that's just kind of the beginning of the problems with this film. While certainly iconic, this one more so than I would even argue Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, and even like for some people who didn't like The Last Crusade, to me this one holds up a lot less than those. Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is definitely not great. We'll get to that in the future, but Kate Capshaw's character Willie, she is arguably the most annoying, whiny. I mean, she's the damsel in distress, but she's also turned up to like 11. It's just wholly unnecessary why she is this annoying. Well, especially when we came from a capable love interest who needed rescuing, sure, but she felt more capable in the last film. But this movie, well, again, I don't want to harp too much on the negativity. It is goofy at times, way over the top, usually surrounding her. And of course, we have Short Round, the kid sidekick, which, if any of y'all listen to me talk about that kind of thing anyway, you know I'm not the biggest fan of that to begin with. But we just have a unbalanced tone, and it's actually a common complaint I have with like a lot of George Lucas's prequel work in Star Wars. How like even if it's a serious battle, he still threw in Jar Jar, which kind of makes you believe it's like the goofy moments are for the kids, right? But like kids can handle serious storytelling when done properly, and I think Temple of Doom does do that well at some times, but then there's other times where it's just wholly unbalanced. But what it does have, though, is a lot of iconic moments. We walk from here, that line. We have, no time for love, Dr. Jones from Short Round. The iconic heart ripping scene. We have the car chase, a big finale at the end, which makes up for a lot of the failings of it. But overall, this one is honestly, I feel is like, now granted we'll get to Crystal Skull, but at least of the original trilogy growing up, a lot of people hold this in high esteem because that was probably the one they were able to watch first. It was definitely a lot more fun, as far as like the action, a lot more action paced. And I'm sure, like I'm pretty sure I saw this before I saw Raiders on a TV edited one, because I know they cut down some of the animal food scenes, as it were, as well as I'm sure some of the more graphic deaths that are in this for a PG-13, which was a complaint when it came out, how it was way too violent. But to me, it's the weakest of the original trilogy, and there are some parts about it I actually like less than Crystal Skull, which is usually the most hated one, as I stated. But anyway, but that's not to say it's not worth watching. I truly believe you should watch all three of the original trilogy and even Crystal Skull. I think you should watch all four if you're going to watch your indie fix. There's enough good to make you forgive the bad. Man, the bad just really gets me. And sorry, last thing, bringing up for the Crystal Skull. So everyone really wanted to complain about the nuclear fridge being ridiculous. The refrigerator that saved him from a nuclear blast is so ridiculous. But they love this movie, and they want to accept falling out of an airplane on a fucking rubber raft, smacking hard into the side of a snowy mountain peak is completely acceptable. That's just wacky fun. Forget that shit. I think that's just as, if not more, ridiculous. But again, I would still recommend this one. For me, it's the weakest of the trilogy, of the original trilogy, but it's still worth watching. All the Indiana Jones films are fun in one way or the other. So check this one out if you haven't already. That's going to do it for today. Stay tuned as we continue to look at Steven Spielberg's amazing filmography. And if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. You know the drill. We'll catch y'all later.